This dinosaur was framed. In honor of Mothers and Fathers Day, let's talk about Oviraptor. So, back in 1923, a small beaked skeleton was found in Mongolia. It belonged to an animal somewhere on the spectrum between Velociraptor and a parakeet, but resembling Rio wasn't the only interesting thing about this specimen, because under the body sat the fossilized remains of eggs. And instead of doing any additional sleuthing, the dinosaur was named Oviraptor, meaning egg thief. To boom! Explode! Like modern-day rat snakes, Oviraptor was assumed to be stealing another animal's eggs. Probably some poor Protoceratops. And that assumption colored every depiction of Oviraptor for over half a century. The guy who named Oviraptor, Henry Fairfield Osborn, did express some doubts about whether or not it was an egg thief, but he did not fix the name. Probably because he was busy being a freaky racist loser eugenicist whose biggest fanboy was Adolf Hitler.
Don't piss me off.
So Oviraptor's name wasn't cleared until the 90s, when some nice, normal, inclusive scientists whose biggest fanboys were doctoral students found a bunch of Oviraptorid nesting sites. Then after analyzing the eggs from that initial specimen with new context, the verdict was clear.
Drumroll, please.
Oviraptor had been accused of stealing its own eggs. Now that we know it's no egg thief, what's Oviraptor's new name? Still Oviraptor. If a paleontological naming mistake isn't caught relatively quickly, it'll likely hang around for a hot minute, which unfortunately makes more sense than you might think. As you watch this, hundreds of paleontological papers are being written by thousands of authors in dozens of different languages that all have to agree on enough basic terms to understand each other. Even the two main orders of dinosaurs are arguably named incorrectly. Ornithischia means bird-hipped, your ceratopsians, stegosaurs, ankylosaurs, while Seritia means lizard-hipped, your sauropods and theropods. But it was the lizard-hipped dinosaurs that evolved into birds, not the bird-hipped dinosaurs. These names were developed about 100 years before we confirmed that birds are dinosaurs, even though Baron Franz Nobska had a sneaking suspicion that nobody ever gives him credit for. Harry Seeley just divided the groups based on what their hip structures at first resembled. But that doesn't make them useless. Sure, the names are whack, but the science is sound. Diplodocus was more closely related to T-Rex than it ever was to Stegosaurus. So yeah, sometimes when you're describing relics of history, the names you create become relics in and of themselves. Tell us about a bygone era of human history alongside the dinosaurs. Now go share this with a friend. People must know that Oviraptor's innocent.